Hello, I'm Rita Dove, and I'm reading to you from my favorite chair and a half, I call it, in my study in Charlottesville, Virginia. I will be reading a poem by Ingeborg Bachmann, translated by Mark Anderson. It's called My Bird, and it appeared in the Paris Review in the summer of 1984. My bird. Whatever comes to pass, the devastated world sinks back into twilight. The forest offers it a sleeping potion, and from the tower, the watchman's forsaken. Peaceful and constant, the eyes of the owl stare down. Whatever comes to pass, you know your time, my bird. You put on your veil and fly through the mist to me. We peer into the haze where the rabble houses. You follow my nod and storm out in a whirl of feathers and fur. My ice-gray shoulder companion, my weapon, adorned with that feather, my only weapon, my only finery, your veil and your feather. And even when my skin burns in the needle dance beneath the tree, and the hip-high shrubs tempt me with their spicy leaves, when my curls dart like snake tongues, sway and long for moisture, the dust of distant stars still falls right on my hair. When I, in a helmet of smoke, come back to my senses, my bird, my nighttime alley, when I'm ablaze in the night and the dark grove crackles, and I hammer the sparks from my limbs. And when I stay ablaze as I am, loved by the flame until the resin streams out of the trunks, drips over the wounds, and spins the earth warm into thread. And though you rob my heart at night, my bird of belief, my bird of faith, the watchtower moves into brightness, where you, tranquil now, a light in magnificent peace, whatever comes to pass. You know, I love the way this poem moves through darkness into light. And so that at the end it says, the watchtower moves into brightness, where you, tranquil now, a light in magnificent peace. And then it brings that refrain back, whatever comes to pass. Whatever comes to pass starts in a kind of a desperation. It ends in a kind of a resolution, resolved, whatever comes to pass, I'll be ready to meet it. And I first encountered this poem in German, in this original German, and I must have been a college student. I don't remember exactly, but I remembered it from this book, 20th Century German Verse, that I had. And at first I read it because Mein Vogel, which is the German, the title. At first I read it because I thought, mein Vogel, there's a term in German called, hast du ein Vogel, meaning, do you have a bird? And it means, are you nuts? And so I entered this poem thinking, it's going to be a funny poem. And there it was, absolutely serious and amazing. I have to say that I also was attracted to it, and I kept reading it then because I love owls. I had collected owls when I was a child. Everybody gave me an owl or stuffed owl or some carved owl for my birthday. Now I have so many owls that I have to put some of them away. One of them is watching us here, though, along with the plague doctor, who is accompanying me through the pandemic. But it was something, I didn't know why I loved owls. I thought it was only because, of course, it's the bird of Athena, the bird of wisdom. I love the fact that there was this female who stood for intellect and wisdom. And I also realized later on in life that I loved owls because I'm a nocturnal person. I am a night person. I come awake at night. And during the day, some part of me, some essential creative part of me, is put to rest. Later, in a good poem always makes you feel this way, right? It makes you, as you go along, you read it through the years, it becomes iconic and it changes too. And it also means it's a call to arms. It's saying whatever comes to pass, I will take my weapon. And these are the lines I love the most in this poem. My ice gray shoulder companion, my weapon, adorned with that feather, my only weapon. And that repetition, but also this ice gray shoulder companion, that combination of resoluteness, coolness, and frightfulness, I think, the ice gray, and then shoulder companion, saying, no, you're with me. That has stayed with me all my life. And I was so amazed and pleased to see this poem translated into English. I think translators are the unsung heroes of the literary world. And what Mark Anderson has done with this poem is to render both its pacing and a bit of that kind of very, not simple, but very straightforward, but incredibly lyrical language that happens in German. And he manages to do that here, which is another miracle. So I come to this poem, I curl into my couch with my iconic figures here, with my plague doctor to remind me that whatever comes to pass, we can do it, and my owl who says, yes, I am here with you at your shoulder. And Ingeborg Bachmann is there too.